Okay, the other day I posted an article about, an article, a video about the new Kindles. And a number of people have said that they either are not in the market for an e-reader. One person said that he was, but that nothing on the market could meet his current needs at the time. Somebody else just out and out said that I'm going to get a Kindle Fire. A lot of people are going to these tablets because of the more versatile nature. Now that I do agree with, but what I don't agree with is the LCD technology, and let me explain. Because it is very difficult to envision losing your vision if you've never had that happen before. I have a video up called My Experience When I Was Blind. Due to a lot of strain put on my eyes, but I'll keep it short and sweet here. Due to a lot of strain that was put on my eyes back when I was in high school, I lost my vision for a month due to an internal retinal bleed. And it brought home with me a number of things. The most important being your vision is precious and you do not want to take it for granted. It is with that note that I open up this video, LCDs versus e-ink. So what are we talking about? Well, the e-ink actually is beneficial in a number of ways, more than just battery life and more than just readability. It could actually save your eyesight. And what am I talking about? Well, what I'm talking about is if you're an avid reader and read more than just a half an hour a day that Amazon used to test the battery life of the new Kindles, can you imagine yourself staring at an LCD screen? Yes, you can turn down the brightness, but that ultimately makes it less readable. You know? Also, you have the digitized text versus an e-reader, which is essentially, like I said, e-ink, electronic ink on electronic paper. It's just like a printed book. Excuse me. There is no backlight for a very important reason. That light can cause eye strain. Now, yes, if you do moderate your use, you will, it won't be near as bad. But at the same time, I mean, how many of us are disconnected nowadays? And what I mean by that is how many of us are away from the web even for 5 minutes? The electronic ink, I honestly feel, does have its advantage when it comes to preserving your vision, simply because it doesn't require your eyes to work as hard. It looks like paper, and it is much less prone to causing eye strain over extended periods. When it comes to being a student, which would you rather study with? A lot of people may not even think about, the amount of strain they're pushing on their vision. If you have never received an optical examination in your life and everything was all hunky-dory for you, that's the case with most people, probably up until they're about mid-aged, 50s, 60s, around there. Then things start to happen. Well, those things that start to happen have been, for me, essentially my entire life. So, I'm not saying that let me make this very, very, very clear. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to be snobbish. What I'm saying is, I happen to have some first-hand experience, and I'm trying to essentially impart that experience on to you with the advice on, which device would be better for retaining what vision you do have. And I seriously think that is the electronic ink technology. Moreover, if you're talking about a device that does everything, again, you might be looking at a tablet. But then again, the way I look at it, if you have a smartphone, why do you need a tablet? Seriously, think about it. if all you want is a device that can read books, really I see no problem in using the dedicated electronic ink readers. Now, yes, the refresh rate is slower, but how many times are you flipping through pages of a book? You know? Now, yes, if you're a student, then you might be doing that. But then again, with these electronic books, why flip through pages when you can just go into the main index and search for your terms? For instance, if you have to complete vocabulary, or if you have to look up concepts, thanks to the X-ray feature and the use of Wikipedia, you know, all I'm saying is that I find it very hard to believe that a lot of people are going for these tablets when, if you're looking at reading for prolonged periods, a dedicated device really would be the better way to go, because it's built for reading books. It's built to, preserve your eyesight. And if you need extra illumination, use the LED casing, the LED light case that you can get for your book reader. Let's take a look at the screens here in this example. On the left we have the Kindle Fire, in the center we have the Kindle Touch, and on the right we have the Kindle. And in case anybody's wondering, I'll reiterate again in case you haven't seen my other video about the Kindle Touch. This particular version of the Kindle on the right is just the Kindle, and the one with the keyboard on it is now called the Kindle Keyboard. Okay, I just wanted to make people aware of that in case they weren't already. But look at these screens. If you're looking at prolonged use after a few hours, which of the two do you think you would be better off? Which of the two do you think you'd be able to read for longer periods? I think that after 4 hours on a long flight of reading on your electronic ink reader, you would more than likely have a lot less eye strain than you would if you were using the Kindle Fire or a similar tablet with e-reader capabilities. I've experienced prolonged eye strain because a lot of times I'll get into what I'm doing online and I'll lose track of the time. As a result, towards the end of the day, all I want to do is just shut my eyes. Okay? Now, yes, you can reduce the brightness, but that in effect reduces the readability of the text. And again, also you have that digitized experience versus the more print-like experience you do with electronic paper. Now, I actually want you to sit down and think about this prior to making any sort of comment. If you need to, you can replay the video, but let me know what you think. I want to hear your input. But I seriously think that for prolonged use and for saving your vision, the electronic ink is the way to go. Thank you for watching. Comments are welcome. And have a nice day. Hang on, I need to wait for this person to stop typing the message.